Alright, so hi YouTube, Justin Carpenter here. We're here with Mike from Channel Coast Marine.
How's it going, guys?
He's going to be doing the full build on our brand new Parker 2820 here. We're going to go over what our plans are, go over where we're going to install our Furuno electronics, anchor system, bait tank, pretty much a full build. So not much more to do other than get on the boat. We're going to go with all Furuno electronics here. I think we're actually doing, what, 4 LCDs?
Yeah, we're going to do 4 screens. We're going to have a TZT16 here in the main dash. Brand new TZXs. They got faster processors, built-in chirp sounders, new TZ maps, which gives you some really high definition bathymetry for all the charts around here. Gets you right up in the islands. You get all the little spots. We're gonna have a DFF 3D, which will start mapping the bottom for him, and will actually start and allow him to map his own bottom, because charts are only so good. Start mapping wherever you're at, building up where you're at, find the spots, find the rock piles, that kind of stuff. We're gonna go to the 16-inch screen here. We're going to build this nice small little starboard wedge to fare out up here. Have a 10-inch screen hanging from the top. Going to come over here, put his autopilot probably somewhere in this direction. Typically I'll have the autopilot display right here. Run his trim tabs down right here next to his throttles. Keeps things nice, clean, happy.
We're also doing you spoke about doing the 13X out here, so we can
yeah, we'll have a 13-inch screen out here back on the cockpit. Once again, making a little wedge right here, fare it out, have the screen sitting right about here, bring the wires in nice and clean, and he'll be able to see everything from his deck, anything he has on his network, whether he wants to see his radar, if he wants to use his autopilot, drive the boat from back here, wants his sounder, wants his DFF 3D, all right here, easy to get to. Good thing I like about using the 13Xs out here is they have knobs. You got shit all over your hands, you're back here fishing, trying to use a touch screen, boat's rocking, pain in the ass. Got your knobs here, zoom in and out, you got buttons. Yes. Buttons are huge, love them.
Yeah, the 13 and the 10s are their hybrid.
Yes, sir.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
So they have touchscreen and also the knobs and buttons on the side.
It's a beautiful thing. All
right, so I think we're going to go over installing the transducers for the DFF 3D and also the big fairing block for our 275 high-low wide transducer.
Yep, so back here in the bilge compartment on the Parkers, not a lot of space, but we figured out how to make it all work and get everything out of the area we have, right? What we typically do is we'll get the big B275 high-low wide transducer. It's got a 20-inch wide beam on the high frequency. It gives you very, very good definition. Picks up a tick's ass on the bottom of the ocean. They're great deucers. So we'll bring that as far forward as we can. The center stem will be kind of right in here. Then there's a forward bolt that'll come through. Cut a little pie high here, cut a little pie high here, so we can get the transducer in, right? As you can see, we already have a through hole over here for the Parker bait chump over on the side. So what we'll do is we'll add another through hole right here.
And that's going to be for the pickup for the bait tank.
That'll be for our pickup for the bait tank. We'll have a Hooker electric brushless motor pump. Great pumps. Variable speed. Turn it up, turn it down, depending on the amount of water flow you want. We're going to have a 100-gallon bait tank, blue water bait tank right here in the center of the deck. We're going to be able to crank her up, push the water to her. That's what we want.
We also are going to be drilling, right, one more hole?
Yeah, so we'll have our DFF 3D transducer just kicked off to the side on one side. It's got a lot smaller fairing block, so it doesn't disrupt any of the water heading to the engines. You want clean water getting to your motors, prevent cavitation, that kind of stuff. The TB275 has a big fairing block, so we kind of kick it as far forward as we can, keep it in the center of the keel, right in the middle between the motors, right? We'll also be putting in our bait tank output. Usually we'll drill the output right in the back of the transom in the center. Keeps the water flowing right out the back, away from your transducers, keeps everything nice and clean, no interference on the deucers. And then we'll have our DFF 3D transducer, our B54, kicked off to one side over here just far enough so you have to measure the angle on them, right? Because it's a 120-degree beam. You don't want it hitting the keel, but if we get it off just perfect to one side, you'll still get a beautiful picture of the bottom.
Perfect. So it sounds like we're putting, what, 4 big holes in the bottom of the boat?
We're putting 5 with the small, well, 4 big ones and 1 little one.
Well, I think that's why you're drilling the holes and not me.
Yeah, we're pretty good at it.
All right.
We've got some really good good riggers here that work with us.
And then one thing we also discussed, right, is trying to get that bait tank, right, a little bit further forward to put a little bit of weight on the bow of these Parkers, right?
Exactly. You get the weight forward on these things, it really prevents the slapping.
All right.
So up here, we're going to be using a Furuno DRS4 NXT radar antenna. It's a Doppler antenna, 24-inch. Beautiful picture. They see better than any radar I've ever seen, dealt with in my life. We typically build a little starboard block right here to kind of fare this out, match that line, match that, match that. Then we'll have a forward-facing C-view mount to kind of get it up and away. Later on down the road, he's going to be building a stainless tower, putting a tower on this thing. So we want to keep everything kind of out of the way for him.
It gets that up and forth because we are going to be having a whole nother helm here. That's where the 4th display comes in. That's going to be up on the helm for the upper station. So
put another 10-inch up there. You're styling, chasing them down, baby, chasing them down.
Perfect.
For now, we'll be matching. We're just going to have a VHF antenna on a rail mount over here, small GPS antenna on a rail mount over there until he gets his tower built. And then we'll mount the antennas on the tower, get them out of the way.
Trying to plan ahead. Right?
Yeah.
We don't want to put something in our way.
Smarter, not harder. Up here, we're going to put in a Lone Star GX3 winch, manufactured down in Australia, distributed through Texas. Great winches, do tons and tons and tons of them. We'll have a GX3, it'll sit right here. Again, little starboard plate right here for it to sit on, bolt on. Close up these holes, and then we move our cleats just forward about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch from this forward rail. Chain anchor, have a little starboard plate right here that goes in there, keeps your chain from slapping your gel coat, messing everything up.
You know, for the YouTube guys, right, you guys, when he's talking about the GX3, it's a drum style winch. A lot of these boats, they have the windlass on it. We're not going to go with the windlass. The Lone Star from, he sold me on it. It's one of the best ones that I've seen for reviews.
Set it and forget it. I mean, literally, you don't have to come up on your bow. You stay right there, you drive the boat, you haul set, haul set, haul set all day long, no problems. With the Parkers, we're able to get the winch far enough back where we have enough scope between the winch and the roller, and once you get it on tight, you got to take it out, get it on tight the first time. After you're on, it'll level line, you'll be styling.
And we are going to beef up this area too?
Yeah, we'll put a little plate right here. Then there's also a backing plate that goes underneath. Each winch comes with a stainless backing plate. Pop it underneath, bulletproof. Haven't had one break yet.
Perfect.
So up here, lighting wise, we're going to have one big Lumishore curved LED light bar. Go from about here to here. Wires come out on the side. We'll run the wire nice and tight up against the back of the light. Pop it down into the radar mount here. Inside and back, nice and clean.
We're also going to
back here,
right?
Back here we'll have a couple Lum-Tech Kapari, I think they are Kapari 3s. They're a nice blue and white LED deck light. Mount them on a little nut here with a bolt coming through so you can still swivel them. A lot of guys, when you're out squid fishing at night, want to be able to twist them around, aim them down. Helps you out with your underwater lights. We'll have underwater lights in the back. Always deal with Lumishore, SMX 54s. Blue and white, you don't really need, I mean, some guys like the colors. I've had best luck with the blue whites. They're bulletproof. Put them on every boat I do.
Right. We're going to start with our Furuno. This is the TZT 16X. This is going to be the one that goes up on the dash. These new screens do come with the 12-pin connection, so you can plug your 1K trip sonars or transducers straight to the screen itself. And let's go inside the boat and see where we're going to lay this one out at. See if it fits.
Okay.
All right, so our plan is to try to squeeze this in here on the dash. Looks like it's going to fit perfect.
Looks good.
All right, we'll move on to our 10-inch Furuno that we plan on putting right here.
Okay.
All right, so this is the Furuno TZ10 or TZT 10X. This is also going to go inside the cabin. So this is the mount that's supplied by Furuno with this screen. We are going to be utilizing this unfortunately right now it's upside down. Let's go inside the boat and we'll show you where it's gonna go. All right. So our plan, like I said, it is upside down right now, but this is where this one's gonna go. All right, so we're moving on to our 13-inch screen. It's the TZT 13X. The 10X and the 13X are hybrid screens, so they're touch screen, but they also do have push button controls on the side. We're going to be mounting this one on the rear decks when we're out here fishing. We can see the fish finder, see everything we need. Radar. Plans are to get this guy right in here.
Nice.
Alright, so for this build we chose to go with the DFF 3D. So for that, this is the B54 transducer. It is a fairing block transducer. It's going to be mounted to the keel of the boat. So this would be right inside there. Alright, so this is the next transducer that's going to be installed. This is the Airmar B275, low, high, wide. This is a trailerable boat. I know if you look at reviews or stuff on the internet, they're saying don't use this transducer on a trailerable boat, just because you can, you know, hit it loading and offloading the boat. But we're going to take the risk. So this is the transducer itself, and then we got the fairing. So that's how it's going to be mounted on the bottom of the boat. And as you guys can see, that's why they're concerned with people hitting it, debris in the water, but I wanted it, so we're putting it on the boat. Alright, so this is going to be our VHF radio. It's Furuno's FM 4800. This radio does have AIS. Let's see where we're going to try to mount this on the boat. Alright, so let's see where this fits on the dash. Thinking right there. Alright, so the next box we're going to open, this is the DFF 3D. This is the processor that the transducer is going to connect to, and then this is what's actually going to connect to our displays. Our plan is to try to mount this underneath the rear driver's seat. Alright, so this box we plan on getting, we already have our battery charger for when we plug into shore power to charge the batteries. This is going to get mounted inside of here somewhere. Most likely right here. Alright, so this is going to be our radar dome. We went with the 24-inch NXT Furuno radar dome. Four mounting holes, pretty heavy. But to mount that, we also have our C-view mount. So this is going to be a 5-degree wedge. It's going to go underneath the forward-facing C-view mount. We're going to try to get this radar because it is so big. It would take up the whole roof of our boat. So we're going to try to use it to push this forward so we have room for our tower. so you guys can see, is when this goes on, this will just be a wedge that goes underneath. So when the boat's on plane, it tilts the radar down 5 degrees. This is a 5-degree mount. So this is the adapter plate. So when you pull up Sea View, you can mount just about any radar dome. So this is the one for the Furuno, but you can also, this allows you to add to it. You can add your GPS puck off of you right next to your radar dome. So if you go on Seaview's website, all these holes you can utilize to add stuff. They have spreader bars that go on here for floodlights, GPS mounts. You'd have to go on their site. There's a lot of options that you can get that bolts right onto this plate. Alright, so that's all the boxes that we have for today. Next we're going to be meeting with Channel Coast Marine, which is he's the builder. He's going to be Mike over there. He's going to be doing all the installs, so he'll give us a little bit more detailed information of, you know, the screens, all the electronics. He knows a lot more than I do. So yeah, our next stop is talking with him, and he'll be going over what our next steps are.